Aloha everyone, and welcome back to the Kilauea Eruption and Leilani Estates update for July 17th, 2018. Hi, before I get started with the regular update, I want to show you all this photo real quick. This is a photo of Fissure 8 in Leilani Estates. There is something in this photo that I am going to look at later, and I just want to show it to y'all real quick, let you take another good look before it vanishes and it's gone. Now, what I want y'all to figure out is what was in that photo that I'm going to point out later in the video. And now for the USGS report for Tuesday, July 17th, 2018 at 1:43 p.m. Hawaii Standard Time. Fissure 8 continues to erupt lava into the Perch Channel leading northeastward from the vent. Surging was noted at the Fissure 8 cone during the overflight, but had stopped by the time ground crews arrived to verify it. Lava in the channel is a bit lower this morning, and there were no significant overflows. The southern margin of the flow was located about 750 meters or 0.5 miles from the boat ramp at Isaac Hawley Park this morning. Despite no visible surface connection to the Fissure 8 channel, lava continues to ooze out at several points along the 6-kilometer or 3.7 mile wide flow front into the ocean. And there were no other active fissures as of this morning. Over on Highway 130 just south of Leilani Estates, HVO field crews are on site tracking activities as conditions allow and are reporting information to Hawaii County Civil Defense. Observations are collected on a daily basis from the cracks in the area. No changes in temperature, crack width, or gas emissions has been noted. Up on the Kilauea Volcano summit, seismicity has increased, as has been the pattern leading up to the collapse explosion events beneath the summit. The last event occurred at 11:42 a.m. Hawaii Standard Time, July 16th, with energy equivalent to a magnitude 5.3 earthquake. We expect a high rate of earthquakes, at least 25 to 30 per hour, to continue until the next collapse explosion event occurs later today. Inward slumping of the rim and walls of the Halemaumau continues in response to the ongoing subsidence at the summit. Yeah, that's a hard one to say, people. It really is. Well, at least for me. Sulfur dioxide emissions from the volcano summit are very low. The gas and minor amounts of ash resuspended by the wind are being transported downwind. Small bursts of ash and gas may coincide with the summit collapse explosion events. The summit region is occasionally impacted by sulfur dioxide from the lower East Rift Zone eruption. And now for the EPA air monitoring sensor report. Looking at the Paoa High School sensor at 9:45 p.m., it was reading 0.0017 parts per million for hydrogen sulfide. However, I would like to make a note on that sensor. I'm beginning to think that it might need to be calibrated because the other sensors around it never seem to have a reading at the same time. Even though that is a very small reading, it seems like more of an error reading versus a non-zero error reading. Like I said, needs to be calibrated. Moving on, the sensor located in Nana Valley Estates is currently reading at 9:52 p.m. 0 parts per million for sulfur dioxide and 0 parts per million for hydrogen sulfide. Going down to Leilani Estates at 9:56 p.m., the reading was 0.0756 parts per million, which is actually one of the highest readings I think I've seen so far on this sensor. Well, at least while I've been looking, and it reads 0.0 parts per million for hydrogen sulfide. And our last sensor, located down at the Kalapana Seaview Estates, reading at 9:55 p.m. was 0.0 parts per million for sulfur dioxide and 0.0 parts per million for hydrogen sulfide. And that pretty much does it for the update information. Not a lot of changes, not a lot of new imagery available either. So now we're just going to go right into, hey, look at that there. No, not that there. That there. That right there is Isaac Hawley Park. That is the next place that we're hoping don't get taken out. It's where our boat ramp is. And as you can see by, of course, that there, that is the southern edge of the active lava flow rolling down the coastline south, which is about 0.5 miles, currently north of Isaac Hawley Park. I bet you thought I forgot about this pic that I showed at the beginning of the video. Nope, 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 I didn't forget. Now, I did ask you a question though. What in this pic do you think I want you to look at that there at? Did anybody figure it out? Any ideas? Any guesses? Okay, well, time's up. I'm fixing to show you. What I want you to look at is that there. I know I'm zoomed in and it makes the image look really bad and grainy, but I just wanted to zoom in this far real quick just to show you the area that I want you to look at. If you look right there in the middle of the screen where the smoke is coming up off of the surface of the lava flow, if you look right there to the left, you see that glowing red spot, which is actually the exit of a lava tube. Yes, I do believe this is actually a lava tube. It's a short tube. And if you follow it going up slightly diagonal to the right, you know, pretty much the path of the smoke, it is up there where the lava is entering, and you know, it's not a lot of lava, and it's obviously significantly slower than the mainstream coming out of the fissure, but there is a lava channel flowing under the surface of the lava flow there, this is probably the same mechanism that we're seeing down at the ocean entry, where the channelized flow seems to break down and there's no visible signs on the paths that it's taking to the ocean, even though we know it is because it's still oozing out. It's probably very similar to this down there, but if this ends and that lava drains out, it will leave a tube system between those 2 points. So who knows, we may have a new little lava tube to explore, you know, 5-6 years from now. Well, 5-6 years, because it needs to cool down and, you know, and all that wonderful stuff, and the gases stop and all that. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. Alright, this one really don't count as a, hey, look at that there one, but I did want to go over this one. I showed it a day or two ago. Actually before the ocean explosion that injured some of our guests visiting our island. What I want to point out is, you know, something that I think, this is not official, no one has said this or anything like this. This is just me kind of, you know, trying to put it all together myself, you know, armchair volcanologist, you know, etc. But what I kind of want to point out here is that it's possible that this may be a visual sign of a potential explosive area. Maybe this isn't necessarily just convection currents. Maybe this is, you know, like the end of a finger tube or something that's, you know, came down the edge of the cliff on the shoreline and ran across the bottom of the ocean shore out a little bit, you know, and this is the end where the lava's bubbling up and boiling the water, so of course it comes up. You know, that would kind of make sense, and that could also indicate a danger zone as well, where at some point it could become explosive because a surge of lava comes down the system or whatever. I really don't know the mechanism, but I just want to point that out as a potential possibility, that may be what they think the mechanism behind this phenomena is. Maybe it's not quite right. I mean, I don't know. I'm not a geologist. I'm not a volcanologist. But I do know that I've seen a lot of water boil in a pot, and you get the most action over the hottest spot. So that's what I'm saying. But anyways, so that's this one. Okay, and for the last look at that there pic, just a real quick one here. Look at that there puka. That is Pu'u'o'o crater. This is where the lava was originally coming from for the last 35 years plus, I do believe. And it all kind of started there too, with an earthquake, and the crater floor dropped on it, and then we had the cracks and the quakes come down the rift zone, and well, you know the story. Here we are today. And that will do it for this edition of the update. Remember to subscribe, hit the bell icon if you haven't already. Thumbs up the video, share it, comment at least. I definitely want to see your comments. check out my Redbubble and Smug Mug. Links are in the description. And everybody have a great morning, afternoon, or evening. This has been the Leilani Estates Update for July 17th, 2018.